and welcome to the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Post-game wrap-up, we'll call it, here at the NHL Skills Challenge. It's been a really fun NHL All-Star Weekend. I'm Jeremy, Bear, Taché, here with Sara Civian of the Too Many Men podcast, Roy Bellamy to my left. And guys, this was a really fun event tonight, one of multiple fun events here at NHL All-Star Weekend. Roy, we'll start with you. What stood out to you most from the NHL Skills Challenge?
Well, according to Twitter, the way tonight went, I think I can describe it on the very first thing that happened. Carol McCarr slipping and falling in the corner. That's pretty much, well, not for me, but that's pretty much what Twitter thinks, because Twitter was disappointed in what happened tonight. They were not happy. But the best thing that happened tonight, in my opinion, Sergei Ovechkin, as Alex's son, involved in the breakaway challenge with Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin. That was the best thing that happened tonight. And as much as I don't like Sidney Crosby, I was generally happy to see that happen.
Yeah, we know Roy's general hate for Sidney Crosby at all times. Sara, that was a really cool moment when we saw Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin just in this moment where, hey, look, these are two legends of the game. So how cool was it to see them out there, especially, with Sergei, Ovi's kid, out there also on this breakaway? Yeah,
just another reminder of how old I'm getting. It's an end of an era, and I love that they, whatever the rivalry may be, they've always had such a mutual respect for each other. Maybe Roy doesn't have respect for Crosby, but it doesn't even matter. It was just really nice to see. I loved PK Subban's outfit, and he was really good, I thought.
Yeah, it was really interesting to me to see sort of the dynamics. You know, when you're here in the building at an event like this, it sometimes doesn't quite translate the way that, I'm sure it did on TV for a lot of the folks who were watching. So with some of these events, were there any events, Roy, that stood out to you as okay, I don't really understand the rules of what's happening here? There was something called the 10D something that I didn't really understand, but was there an event that stood out to you that was your favorite other than that moment with Ovi and Crosby?
Well, I tried to get into the Tindy tandem is what they called it. The Tindy tandem. Obviously, Tindy is short for goaltender in this situation.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you did not know that. Yeah, there was two goaltenders. There was one that was trying to shoot into the other goal, and the other one was trying to stop a breakaway. Fine idea. Fine. Whatever. Cool. Then they tried the pitch and puck, which is what they recorded the day before, on a golf course. Try to get it close to the hole. Fine. Okay. Golf. Sure. Then they did the splash shot, I believe. Yeah. They tried to shoot it at 6 surfboards, and they had a couple guys in dunk tanks. Sidney Crosby got splashed. I was happy about that. So I would have to say that was my favorite.
And anything where Sidney Crosby is the butt of the joke for Roy. Well, Sara, I mean, when you look at a night like tonight, we saw some really cool outfits. We saw some really cool moments. I know you were really obsessed with what was going on with Mitch Marner.
Oh, yeah. We planned this. We were matching besties, of course.
Yeah, video team, I'm staring at you right now through this video. Video team, you make sure that we get a screenshot side by side of what Sara Civian is wearing right here and what Mitch Marner wore tonight, because literally twinning. It was amazing.
Mitch Marner brought the vibes that were necessary for a Miami Vice event, and was one of, I'm not going to say this was a snooze fest. I think there were a lot of positives. I like that the league tried new things, but I will say I was a little confused at where things were going at a certain point, especially when they just weren't ending events. I wish they kind of kept it cohesive, but I respect trying new things.
I almost wonder if for events like this, where the NHL is trying new things like that, it's I was just talking with someone else up in the press box before where, with baseball, it's the obvious. You have the home run derby. That's been a staple for so long. With basketball, you have the slam dunk contest, the three-point contest. With a league like the NHL, trying new things that are maybe a little more TV-friendly than even the event might be. Hey, we have some Dan Le Batard fans here as people are yelling for Roy. Roy's the most famous guy in the building here with the Florida Panthers. We expect that, obviously. But when you guys look at at sort of the rest of this weekend and all of these events and so sort of the energy that you've seen from players, Sara, I'll come back to you. What has it been like to see this sort of energy, this relaxed energy, this sort of, Sunrise, Fort Lauderdale, Miami vibe that we have going amongst the players?
Yeah, we got the Kachuk brothers in their sunglasses and shades and the whole family here. I think that's amazing. It's great to see them loosen up, especially obviously with this league where it can be conformist. I like that they're entertaining all of our weird questions and smiling and laughing and giving us a little personality in this economy.
And Roy, I mean, obviously you spend a lot of time at FLA Live Arena covering the Panthers. You've seen what the energy can be like in this building. So how cool is it to see, the Panthers as a franchise and this fan base rewarded with an all-star game like this. I know we saw Chris Cody going on with his normal shenanigans earlier with the fans, and like the environment here was really fun. So how rewarding is it as someone who has been a fan of the Panthers and covered the team to see them rewarded with this all-star game?
Well, it's been 20 years since their first all-star game, and honestly, it's great to see everybody from around the country and from Canada come down here and just have so much fun. So everything that happened at the beach earlier, that was great. Everything that happened tonight, that was great too. Oh, the goal horn.
Got a goal horn going off at the moment. Maybe you can hear it in the background of this, but yeah, I mean, it has been really special to see everything go on. Sara, we were at the NHL red carpet earlier, not to go back to Mitch Marner, because I assume this might be the answer, but were there any outfits that specifically stood out to you?
Well, I know the Gentleman's Playbook worked on Linus Ullmark's outfit, and that was amazing. Of course, Pasternak stole the show as always with his kind of beachy, kind of suave outfit. And who else? Oh, Rasmus Dahlin had an amazing matching shorts situation. Check that out if you haven't already. No one's talking about that one. Look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Do your research, okay? Do your research on this if you care what's going on in NHL fashion. And if you do, by the way, check out Sara's style rankings because they are top tier. As we look across the rest of this weekend, just trying to look at different news and notes. Roy, I know you had some more notes on your phone. Is there anything either from tonight or from the rest of this weekend that you're sitting here thinking, hey, the people of the Dan Le Batard Show in the audience have to know about this specific moment?
Well, I can tell you this. They're probably going to have to revamp the breakaway challenge. Aside from Ovi's kid stealing the show, it was, first of all, they broke it up. It was like in between every other event. It took too long. They could have probably shaved off an hour and everybody would have gone home happy and everybody watching TV would have been happy. So they need to revamp that. There needs to be a little bit more skill in the skills competition. Show it off. Don't try comedic bits or anything like that. Just show more skill. That's my takeaway from the entire thing.
I as a show that has a lot of bits, I actually don't disagree with you. If you don't do bits well, then maybe don't do them at all. Yeah. Because I did not need to see, and no offense to Chucky, but I did not need to see Matthew Tkachuk on a fold-up beach chair and his brother over there. Some of these events were certainly a little bit strange, but on the same note, like, that's them trying to get creative, sort of the way that, you remember Gerald Green, like, blowing out a birthday candle in the dunk contest. This is their version of trying to get creative. So as you look at the NHL, continuing with trying to make these events matter, make these big events like this. What stood out to you, Sara, and made this weekend special? Yeah,
it's been an absolute blast. I think the variety of events, like, there's something for everyone. There's always something going on. I'd say that. Like, it's not really about the event itself. Sometimes it's about the friends you make along the way. It's been nice to see fans from every single team in the league kind of come together and have fun on the beach.
And how has it been? How fun has it been catching up with media members as well? Like what is so fun about these types of events is that nationally you have all these people who you normally only interact with on Twitter potentially coming in here. You see all these fans that are coming through, these people from all around the country. How has that been for you, catching up specifically with media members?
Oh yeah, especially now that we're somewhat returning to normalcy after the pandemic. It's great to catch up with hockey media. It reminds you that hockey does have its faults, but the people in it are largely good, and I love them all. I don't know. I'm feeling very lucky. It's been a blast here.
It has been a blast here in South Florida. Roy, before we wrap it up here, I just want your thoughts about this weekend in general, and then I do want your thoughts on the Panthers as we head into the second half of the season.
Well, this weekend has been a blast, and again, I'm happy that everybody from around the country and Canada is able to come down here and experience what life is like in South Florida. Aside from the terrible driving and everything, the weather's pretty good. So the Panthers obviously did not get off to a good start. They've had injury trouble, but they're starting to come back. They have a nice little hot streak going into the break. Hopefully the break was not a momentum killer, but they got a whole bunch of home games in the second half that they can fully take advantage of because they don't have that many points left, a deficit, so they can easily get a wild card spot, easily, but they're going to have to do it.
See, we'll definitely have you guys covered on the local hour with all Florida Panthers led by Roy Bellamy. If you need to know where to check out the Too Many Men podcast, follow at 2_much_man on both Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to listen to their podcast twice a week for all of your best hockey coverage, and we will have you covered on the Florida Panthers on the local hour. For Roy Bellamy, Sara Civian, I'm Jeremy Gerber Taché here at the NHL Skills Challenge.